everyone, and welcome back to Anne's Family Recipe. A go-to staple of mine, both for parties and an easy weeknight dinner, is baked slider sandwiches. So typically we make ham and cheese, and then they have this awesome buttery, savory sauce over top, and then you bake them and pull them apart, and everybody loves them. Now today I'm going to try an Italian variation. There are so many different types of these slider sandwiches you can make, but this one has all different kinds of meats, cheese, a little tangy extra bit on top. You are going to love them. I started by spraying my 13 by 9 inch glass baking dish so the sandwiches wouldn't stick. And for these, I used a 12-pack of butter slider buns, which sounded delicious. These are from Pepperidge Farm. Traditionally, you would use Hawaiian rolls for this type of sandwich, but my husband doesn't love the sweetness of Hawaiian rolls, so I just went with a more classic bun here, and they tasted fantastic. So next, I used a half a pound of shaved ham and placed it evenly all over the bottoms of my buns. And then I used a 1/4 pound of sandwich pepperoni and a 1/4 pound of hard salami. So I didn't specifically count out the number of slices I used, but this was enough to cover the surface of the sandwiches evenly. Next up was a layer of mild provolone cheese. You could experiment here with smoked provolone or a sharper provolone cheese. Even mozzarella would be delicious on these sandwiches. Lastly, and most importantly in my opinion, I added a layer of mild banana pepper rings. So this added a tang and crunch to the sandwich that was just phenomenal. These don't really add any heat. In fact, my pepperoni was probably spicier than these peppers, but I just thought this was that perfect element for a little moisture and crunch and zing to the sandwiches. I loved these. And then I just placed the tops of the buns onto the sandwiches. For the topping, I melted half a stick of unsalted butter in the microwave, and then I added in a half a teaspoon of Italian seasonings and a half a teaspoon of garlic powder. I started with just a 1/4 teaspoon of garlic powder, but I thought it needed a little more oomph, so I added more later. I also added in 1 tablespoon of Parmesan cheese, just right out of the can. And then I seasoned this with a pinch of salt and pepper. You could probably get away with no salt if you use salted butter, but this definitely needed that pinch of salt to bring out all the other flavors in this buttery spread. So I mixed this around with my silicone pastry brush and spread this all over the tops of these sandwiches. This makes them so good. And then you cover this with foil and they bake for about 15 minutes in the oven until the cheese starts to melt, and then you'll remove the foil and allow them to bake for about 3 to 4 more minutes. You want the tops to be golden and everything to be heated through and the cheese to be super melty. We enjoyed these sandwiches hot on a weeknight when my kids had soccer practice. And then we also enjoyed them throughout the week cold for lunches. My 2 oldest children really loved these, and so did my husband and I. They have incredible flavor. In fact, my husband liked these even more than the ham and cheese sliders, which I think are hard to beat. I'll leave that recipe along with this one in my description box below. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel. You can follow me over on Instagram at Anne's Family Recipe, and give this video a thumbs up if you liked my Italian sliders here today. Thank you so much for joining me here in my kitchen, and I'll see you again soon.